Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Minnesota State Park Hiking Club Trail Series. Today, we traveled to Beaver Creek State Park in Caledonia, Minnesota. It was established as a state park in 1937 to provide a great location for recreational opportunities. It is located in one of the fascinating geological locations in Minnesota, the Driftless area, which is an area that, unlike the flatlands to the west, was not directly impacted by the glaciers, but was flooded with the water from the melting glaciers, creating significant valleys. The result was a vastly different landscape than you might find in other areas in Minnesota. The wildlife at the park is diverse: muskrat, mink, badgers, red and gray foxes. It is also a place where one can spot the Acadian flycatcher, a rare sight in Minnesota, and this park is one of the few areas where it can be spotted. There are also beavers, wild turkey, and deer. I was fortunate enough to spot a deer while out on the hike. It spooked as I crossed a bridge over the creek. There's also a chance, albeit a rare one, to see the timber rattlesnake, which is a snake that lives in the area. Ensure that you don't go out of your way to disturb any wildlife, and make sure to leave them alone if you do encounter them. This is their home, after all. How could I forget? This is also an excellent park for trout fishing. There are brook trout and brown trout present, and the campground is a popular destination for trout fishermen to stay while fishing. If you look closely in the streams while you're hiking, you will more often than not see a significant number of trout. The forest through the valley includes a diverse group of trees, such as the maple, walnut, and basswood, which thrive above the valley, while some, such as the black ash, box elder, cottonwood, and others, thrive in the valley. The hike takes you through good sections of both habitats, allowing you to see the great variety this park has to offer. The hiking club trail starts just across the creek by the central parking lot, but the entrance is easy to miss as it's tucked into the hillside and it's easy to walk right by it the first time, like we did. It's a narrow path that ascends from the valley floor quite rapidly. The bird songs are persistent and melodic, as they create a wonderful background sound mixed with the rustling leaves and flowing streams. The trail bends and winds through the side of the valley before descending into the campground, and then once more ascending to the valley sides. This part has the majority of the elevation gain as you traverse the edge of the valley. There is also significant tree coverage, and the occasional clearing that allows you to see out into the valley below. There was a significant amount of bugs during this hike. It shouldn't come as that much of a surprise, as the trail alternates between low valley and significant water flow and deep, shady forests. The perfect wet, shady environment for a significant amount of bugs. The second section of the hiking club trail is much flatter and passes through the valley where the stream cuts across it. There's still a good amount of tree coverage, except for the opening created by the water flow. It has that great kind of forest feature where there's undergrowth thickly to about waist or shoulder height, and then a decent gap up into the canopy, which allows deer and other animals to hide so they're difficult to spot, except for the white-tailed deer I saw, who made sure he hopped above the undergrowth and raised his tail up real nice and high just to let me know where he was at. The final section of the hiking club trail is a wonderful little prairie in the middle of the valley. You walk along the edge of it, mostly shaded by the tree line, but you can see out into it. It's a pretty sight, seeing the prairie in the background of the trees on the valley wall. The far side of the prairie is where the stream flows, creating a lovely background, noise of water flowing for the final bit of the prairie hike. It's quite a wonderful hike. My favorite part of the hike is by far the streams. The path crosses multiple streams as they snake across the valley and come from the valley's edges. They are at times misty and almost mystical in nature, and clear and soft flowing, filled with trout and other fish. They are the real highlights of this trail for me. The first steps of the trail from the parking lot are across a bridge crossing the stream, and it's so clear, and in the early morning light there was still that light fog hovering above the water. Can't really say enough. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for watching, and if you like this edition of the series, like and subscribe. Also, let us know which state park you'd like to see next.